Hello everybody, what's up? Andy here from Glass Half Dead, the #1 Kill Team channel on YouTube, unless of course you are aware of any other channel on YouTube. How's it going? In case you're unaware, this is a live stream. I am live right now, can you believe it? If you're in chat, say hello, what's up, what are you doing as you absorb the hot knowledge I'm dropping, or if you've watched my previous video, the hot knowledge I'm glazing all over you right now. How's it going? I have done lots of hobby today, actually, been a hobby machine. However, if you can't tell there's a plaster on my thumb, that's because the knife got away from me a little bit. I'll be the first to admit that. Yeah, there you go. So, no hobby for the rest of the night, that's for sure. There you go. Whoops. Whoopsie. Hey, if it's your first time to a live stream, just so you're aware, yes, I kind of imply there's a title, there's a thumbnail. You might think this guy's going to drop some knowledge. I'm not. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk to people on chat. I see Academic Chris. I see Jay. That's a weird name, saying hi, babe, with a smiley face. Hello to you, babe, indeed. I see Gringo Green. Ahoy there. Oh, talking of pirates and sailors, we'll come to that in a moment. But and I see Sia and I see Basshammer. What's up, Glass? Thanks for content to listen to as I paint my Felgor. Ooh, Felgor. So I was just now, just before, as I was hobbying and then cut my finger, I was listening to the command point tier list, and I just finished that. So I might talk a little bit about their tier list if that's interesting. But yes, back on topic, just so you're aware, I'm not really, I have a title, I have a thumbnail that implying I might say things. That's not really what the live stream is for. The live stream is to hang out, chat. I'm going to read chat, I'm going to interact with chat mainly. The only time I'm going to stop reading and interacting with chat is when chat dries up, because nobody likes it dry, so I can try to keep it wet by reading stats. Stats are never dry. Adolfo Delamora, good to see you. How are you? Leary Todd. Is that your name? Have you changed your name recently? I swear you were... Have I always been reading your name wrong? Never make it to the start of these normally evening GHD evening Leary Todd. Background music is a bit loud. Oh no. Finishing some hounds and got notified snow day. Oh, okay. Is it loud for everybody in the background? Oh, yes it is. Why was my background noise that loud? Have I recorded a bunch of videos with my background noise that loud? Why was it that loud? I think it was left that loud from last week, where I was playing the game. Well, good stuff. You love to see it. I've only been doing this for 6 years, guys. It's not like I know what audio is yet. Finishing some hounds. What type of hounds, Matthew? Been on a hobby slump. This could help. The only way that I'm going to help anybody get into a hobby vibe is if you look at me and say, you know what? It could be worse. That motivates me. There's no other way I'm gonna... yeah. I'm not the hobby guy. So what have I done today? I've done 2 pyramids. There you go. That's good. Well done. I've sprayed them. And then I've done some dragon ninja warrior, dragon robot ninjas. And I've done some troll pirates. It's talking about ahoy. Pain in my heyo. No work for me today since it's a good old American bank holiday. Is it? In the old US, in the Gulf of America, is it? Sure. Let me go grab the pyramids because they're fire. They're fire. Yeah, what can I say? They are fire. Where's the other thing? Have I left that outside? Oh God, where's the other thing? I don't know where that is. Okay. Huh. I think I've left that out. Anyway, I'll work on that. I'll work on that. Here we have the beautiful, what's it called? What's it called? Oh, Jesus, this is old age hitting right here. This is the monolith, thank you. A monolith, the new monolith especially, it's a model that I've wanted for a long time, but, you know, never had a reason to buy it, so glad I've built it, sprayed it up. I bought this, God, a year ago, and I just left it in my room for ages. But that's fine, I'll put it up here for now. Obviously it's not painted yet, but that's going to be a banger, really happy with that model. And then the other one is this Realm Shaper engine, which will obviously be for my Seraphon back here. And this is the one from the Warcry box, which is cool, I guess. I don't know if it's cooler than the standard one, but it's there. And really, that's what counts, isn't it? It's there. It's the Kroot Hounds. Ah, good, good. You're working on the kill team then. Lovely. Ooh, I'm painting Harnkin dumb people. Yeah. You know, a lot of people like the Harnkin, so that's fair. I prefer the Harnkin to the Hearthkin, so that's cool. It sounds so much like we're just making random words up, doesn't it? Oh yeah, I prefer the Harnkin to the Hearthkin, actually. President's Day, a day for presidents, I guess. If you say so, I suppose. Hello. Hello. Go for it, painting. How are you? Right, and then I've done... oh, how can I show you this? I didn't think this through, and I haven't based any of it, so hard to show, really. But basically, you might recall, all my kill teamers in chat, you might recall that a while ago I went quite off kill team, and I did like some big videos for War Machine, who at the time were Privateer Press, but now are Steamforge Games, and they just sent me a new thing, which is Shadows and Scum. This is their second box, which is hips, so plastic, you know, GW style plastic. And yeah, and so I've just finished assembling all of these bad boys. I will say, this one didn't appeal to me as much as the first one, which was Khador versus Signar, because I really like Khador and Signar. I think they're absolute bangers. I even put them on 28mm regular, like 40k style bases, so I can use them as Kassakin. That's what they're going to be. But these ones, I don't quite know what to use them as in 40k. I think the trolls can be Oghren and Bulgrin. No clue on the robot ninja dragons, though. Well, they'd have to be something Tyranidy. I guess they could be, just chuck them on 32s. Or they could be Von Ryans, I suppose. They'd be acceptable Von Ryans, actually, I think. They could be on 40s and be Von Ryans. Anyway, I'll show you a few. Done painting my test Aquilon and Sentry. I would have had more done, but I've been sick as of late. Sorry to hear that, Kiwi Commander. That is tragic. C'était tragique libre. Right. Oh, also, just again, if you all don't know, I'm not going to say anything of any relevance in the first 10-15 minutes because we have yet to hit critical mass. I will start talking about things afterwards. That's why I start with hobby, because nobody cares. And as people are filtering in, it does sound like I'm talking about something that you should care about, but obviously nobody does. So, which one of these do I want to show you? So I haven't put them on bases yet. Let's start with this big dude, I suppose. This is just like a big... Well, okay. This isn't a great way to show this guy off. I'm going to be honest. He needs to be sprayed and hit with a wash at the very least so that you can see what's up. But he's a giant shark monster. And then I wasn't sold on these guys. But now that I've built them, I think they're pretty fire. There you go. So these are troll pirates. And they've gone all in on the pirate thing. On the box, they're painted as... Where did I put the box? They've painted them up as redcoats, which is quite amusing. Because if I have my American history correct, the English were the redcoats, and now the trolls are the redcoats, whereas you'd expect it to actually be a bit the other way around. But I guess they couldn't have been blue because it wouldn't go with the skin colour of the trolls. Also, Signar tend to be the blue, so yeah, is what it is. But those are really cool. I'll do something with them. I'll put them on 40s and they can be Ogryn. But then we've got these dragons. Like, just, they look awesome. They look, you know, I don't know. Yeah. Don't know what to do with it exactly, but they do look awesome. And we've got a bunch of them. This is the big one for them. It's more of a worm type thing. WYRM, of course. I will say the negative to this stuff from Steamforged is that it's really... It just shows to me Baby Angron. Oh, yeah. He does as well, actually, doesn't he? They could be Exalted 8-bound. That's a fair point. They'd work for that. They could be any sort of Chaos Demon, in fact, couldn't they? Yeah, interesting. Oh, as MPOs for sure. But when I think about these models, I want to think of an actual model they could represent if, let's say, I want to chuck them into a 40k army. I'm not thinking these guys will go into a kill team, unless I do Ogryns, in which case they could obviously be Rattlings. But these, what are they? Ninja Dragon robots. I think that they're too different to be anything like super weird. Well, they've got wings, so they could be Vespid, but they've got no guns. Regardless, what I'm trying to say is I like them. There you go. Big fan. However, the big negative to them is a bit of a backhanded compliment, I feel. But when War Machine released in Mark IV, oh Christ, I totally got behind the idea of 3D printed models, and there are benefits. But since then, I've had nothing but negative impressions of 3D printed models from them. Not that there's a worse, sorry, it's just I bought so many and then stored them in a way that I haven't stored my other ones from Etsy, basically, that I've had quite a few breakages, and it's just like, ugh. But going back to the hips, the standard GW style plastic, I'm like, oh yeah, no, I do like this. Yeah. Despite some of the negatives the standard plastic has, I do really like it. It's so durable, you know, compared to 3D. I've dropped these like 5 times. None of them have broken. No bits are broken. None of the, even one has a spear. It's fine. Wings, totally fine. Yeah, so that's actually quite a shame. Yeah. Exalted 8, but any, again, possessed, any sort of chaos, they have a chaosy kind of vibe to them, totally agree. Otherwise, some sort of, they're a little bit, I don't know, Tyranids don't really have any robot bits, so it doesn't really make sense there, although they could be something. But actually, I think Exalted 8-bound / possessed, if they're on the same base size, that would be perfect for them. Or Terminators, I guess. 8-bound, I've been looking for some good proxies because maybe controversially, I kind of hate... I think the 8-bound are cool. I have 2 squads of them, Exalted 8-bound. But they're not as cool as they could be. I would probably agree. They are oddly... Yeah. They're a bit static, actually, which is a shocker from GW, because normally the thing that GW does that is genuinely better than other companies is the movement that they manage to give their models. They don't always have the best aesthetic, let's be clear on that one, and ignore the material, but they normally manage to infuse a lot more movement and dynamism in their sculpts. Like, There's another company which is just like, you know, a guy doing a 3D printed patron thing of Warcraft models. Can't remember what it's called at the moment, but I really like his models, but all of his poses are so static. They're really, really boring. And yeah, that's a real frustration. If he just like made them more dynamic, he's clearly got the skill to make the model, but then just boring poses. Really shame. Zinch fellas? I suppose they could double up as the Sky Riders in Zinch. Sure. Sure. 3D printing, ABS resin helps. I don't know what stuff Steamforged is using to print. I've had a lot of drops. They haven't, yeah. I've had a lot of breakages. Let's just say that. 3D printing resin annoys me too. I'm actually reluctant to paint or try hard to paint any of my very custom prints because they break so easy. I ordered some very flexible UV cure resin to be mixed with ABS-like stuff. Allegedly, it is plasticish and doesn't break when you drop them as much. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. So I buy a lot of 3D printed models off Etsy, and some of them are great. And I don't want to say that they are better or worse than the Steamforged stuff. Although I haven't had any 3D prints from Steamforged, I've only had them from Privateer. Don't know what's up with that. But let's just, from War Machine. And yeah, I had a lot of breaks. In fairness, I had wave 1 of Signar and Kador. Yep. But my Dusk weren't wave 1s. So I don't know what went wrong there, if I'm honest. Is what it is. Is what it is. But they are super cool. And I really like them, and I really like the Kador and Signar, who 100%, along with these, what are they, Shadow and Scum, are going on 40k style bases, and they will be something, either in my 40k army, for like Imperial Guard, presumably, or whatever they are, and MPOs in Kill Team. Talking of MPOs, I've actually just finished recording and have uploaded, but hidden, obviously, until I decide to go live with it, my first solo guide where I'm showing like a full 6x4 table as a possible, hey, here's how you can play Kill Team on this size table, which is pretty cool. So check that out. When it releases in 2 weeks or whatever, because I'm a little bit backed up with videos, actually. I don't want to just... I guess I'm releasing a video a day. Yeah. But I have to release them in a certain order. I want to release a gotcha guide every other day. And I'm only doing the 5 days a week, not Saturday, Sunday. And Mondays, we have the stream. It's a whole thing. I don't know what I'm releasing tomorrow. There you go. No clue. I'll just figure it out when it's for. Figure it out. Who knows? It's a lot more resilient, not as resilient as Hips though. Hips is very resilient. We've got to be honest on that. Might be the pictures, but the 1/8 bound with his 1 foot in the... Yes, that guy. That's the guy I'm thinking of, yeah. I do think they look cool. Ah, helmeted options, yes. You know what? I reckon just Chaos Terminator head swap, done. That would probably infinitely improve them, I reckon. Being backed up is bad for the prostate. Yeah, that is possibly true, Academic Chris. Possibly true. Although, hey, how far in are we? 20 minutes? You know what that means, chaps. That means if you're here, I would like to give you a subscriber-only benefit and a stream-only benefit now, and that is a big double hello. Hopefully you could hear that. I did turn the music down quite a lot. I would also like to say that, hey, if you support me on Patreon or with donations in the stream, that goes straight towards my hydration fund. So thank you very much. Patrons, you are the chaps, chapesses and chapai. I've said it many times and I mean it. This channel would not still be around if it wasn't for my patrons, so thank you very much. Cool. Okay, so we're probably into a point now, 20 minutes in, where we can actually talk about things. Here's the question. Do we actually want to talk about things? You didn't hear the music. I've turned the music down too much, haven't I? Okay, that's on me. That's on me. I've turned it up a smidge. Okay, let me know. Let me know, y'all. We don't want to have just my voice. We need some music. Cool. So what have I been up to this week? Oh, sorry. Just as a little teaser, we have some hot news stats. You'll know me, I love numbers, I love stats. Let me see if I can actually show you this. I didn't set this up before stream, because just before I went on stream, you know what I did? I was talking to Birinid. So, didn't want to, you know, here we go. Now if I, no, let's do this. Yeah, cool. Okay, we got that in the background. You didn't hear it, did you? Sorry, hey, I said, hey, if you're in the live stream right now, I'd like to give you a big double hello. Hopefully you heard that one now. Stato lives. Yes, Stato indeed. So we have stats. Big fan of stats, big fan of numbers. I don't know, you are Chris. I don't know who Chris is, but Birinid is alive. Well, actually, Birinid is dead, but Chris is alive. But I will only ever refer to him as Birinid, yes. So, we're going to have a quick look at some stuff. And we've got interesting things. Basically, this is going to be a video, probably Wednesday, maybe Thursday, depends. Let me shrinkify myself just super quickly. We're not going to cover this just yet. We're going to keep having a natter. This is sent over to me from the Kill Team Battle Kit crew, aka the one guy that does it, which is kind of their heat map in a sense of basically all of their page views. So we can take this, which of course is not stats. This is about just which team on Battle Kit specifically gets the most views. So we can have a look at that. We then have from this guy, Chris Kill Team Stats, who has a coffee you can go check out. He's doing new stats, which looks like this. And it works. There you go. Win rate. Very interesting numbers. Now, of course, there are people out there who already do stats. The more stats, the better, I say. I don't want to take away from anybody's statification, obviously, but this is, in my opinion, a little bit easier to read. I've also turned Ace, who will be doing some Goonhammer articles onto this, so yeah, go check this out. We'll talk about it later. I'm going to go back to rambling for a little bit now. But there you go. So those are the stats we're going to be doing. We're going to be looking at new stats. I'm going to have an open chat with Stream about it, see what you all think. And then later I'll do a slightly more condensed video with an actual point, which is obviously rare for me. I do understand about such things. But this is basically the stats for how we are performing since the data slate, which is cool. We could look at the last day slate too. We can compare, but yeah. Cool. Right, before we get on to that, I'm going to have some random tangents that I'm going to talk about. Again, just to kind of discuss things, really. So as you see down here, I'm going to take you through my background. That's what I'm doing, I guess. Necrons, big fan of Necrons. There's a channel called Own 40k, but you know, like the loser millennial me, but PWN, like, you know, Pwn, PWN 40k, really good channel, does battle reports. You go check him out. I just did a battle report inspired by him and Warpfire minis, which my patrons have seen. That'll go up at some point, whenever. It's between, who was that between? Kassakin and, was it Angels? No, Nemesis Claw. That's an interesting, I'm basically, I was inspired by their format, so I've used that for Kill Team. Because nobody does that for Kill Team, which is a shame. But yeah, I've gotten really into 40k and Sigmar the last few weeks. For no real reason, just, I don't know. I yearn, I have the masculine urge to discuss anvils and hammers and screens. But I can't do that in Kill Team. Why? I just want to talk about these things, but I can't. So anyway, so he owned Pwn 40k, discusses almost exclusive, I think exclusively Necrons actually. So totally randomly, Necrons are also a faction I'm into, so that's cool. I recently bought Imhotep and Orokan, the bad lads, and they're sweet. They're sweet. Absolutely love them. Two great models. They're big, I will say. They're big models. And I bought them. They're on 40s, and I thought, oh, cool. These can be some of my Space Marines. Like, I could do a Necron Angels of Death team. No, these are massive. There is no Space Marine this big, right? So that's fallen out of favour, unfortunately. But I'm glad, as a Necron interested chap, that I have that Pwn 40k channel so I can pick up some hot tips. He goes quite deep into the strats, and I'm like, dude, I don't know how to roll a hit dice. So, you know, I'm not quite there, but it's good. I feel like I'm learning, you know? So that's cool. I've got my Tau. My Tau are an odd lot. So I've had my Kroot here. I've got a full Kroot hunting pack. Sweet. Although, I got that commission painted. The guy did a great job on them, especially for the amount he charged, which was awesome. But the problem with the Kroot is I know me. I don't like my models dying. It's just how it is. Makes me feel sad. I don't like it when I'm saving on 6s and hitting on 5s. That sucks. It's just the way it is. Even if I then have the bodies to be able to, like, get around that, and statistically it all works out the same. Nope, don't like it. Don't like taking my models off. Sorry. So, don't know why I did that. I know that I won't like playing Kroot, even if they're good. They're just not how I like to play, which is why I then bought Custodes, but ignore that. It seems like Tau are currently in the worst spot in 40k. They're bottom of every tier list, which is a thing, so that's great. Oh, no, they're not, sorry. I think they're second last compared to Sisters. So those are my 3 factions for 40k. I think that's a nice round. Oh, and Custodes over there, but they're not a real army, are they? Don't know what to do with them. Don't know what to do with them. So I'm pretty happy with that. Oh, obviously I have Marines. So everybody needs to have Marines, don't they? So I've got that. And I've got, like, I guess Black Templars are the army I technically have the most of, but I'm not fussed about Marines, you know. It's a hobby, do the parts that make you happy. He might have pigeonholed the channel a bit to me. Too much specifically Kill Team, but we're here for it, lol. Yes, indeed. Well, that's a whole other thing, Chase. Yeah. I mean, it's why every now and again I have gone and made different channels. Like the other channel, Tactical Skew, started being called Full Scale Wargaming, and it was just me talking about 40k. And I changed that, because I did. But the problem is I don't have enough time to do 2 channels, and Kill Team is safe. And I don't have to build Glass Half Dead from the ground up, which requires a certain amount of effort to build a channel, you know. That's why I'm still here. Yeah. And I don't want to stop Glass Half Dead. I do still enjoy Kill Team to a degree. But there are things in Kill Team that just are not there, but if I want to talk about them from an analysis perspective. Also, I do have the minor frustration, and I say minor, that's me being very British. It's incredibly frustrating. The minor frustration of, I know a lot about Kill Team, but I'm not a good player. And that's really annoying, that I know so much, but that doesn't mean I'm good, because the way I want to play the game just doesn't work with the game. There you go. So that's the thing. Yeah. I'm slowly learning to love Pathfinders over my other infantry units. Their special weapons are great. Do you mean the kill team or the 40k army? I've actually just bought myself another set of Pathfinders because I want to do them up. So, sorry, that's where I was going. I've got two types of Tau. What can I show you? What makes sense? I guess these bad boys here. So these bad boys here, right? This scheme, again, commission painted. This was ages ago. This was the first ever commission paint that I got done for me. It was by a guy in the London Meta. He absolutely knocks it out of the park with these. Love them, love them. So this is my Tau army. However, I don't have the patience to replicate what he's done. It just wouldn't be for me. They look awesome, I do know. So instead, I'm doing my, as the youth would say, I'm back on my bullshit. And I'm doing a bad army. Let me show you my far site. So, I'm doing a white Tau army, with the main thing about them being that I'm doing like these neon blue bases. Because otherwise it's just a standard white Tau paint job, right? And I think that the blue base works because it's Tau. You know, they're the sci-fi race. So I'm down with that. But they don't look as good as these ones up here. We all know it's true. But yeah. So I'm getting some more Tau, and I want them to look like the scheme that I can actually paint, basically. There you go. Painting my legionary team right now using Ravaged Star minis as proxies. They work perfectly. Aren't they bigger? I got the impression that the Ravaged Star were like a head taller sort of thing. The strategic mind may evade a scholar. Yes, sure. Sure, indeed. Indeed, MagaCat 3000. Yes, indeed. But yeah, so I'm pretty hyped on those. That's my Tau, that's my Necrons. Frustratingly, I know that I will enjoy playing Custodes more than both of those teams. But that's the cross I have to bear. I might like Necrons, I'm not sure. They have so many units that they're a possibility. I also have Tyranids, but they're all in a box right now. For no good reason. They just are. I don't know. Classic Andy, I bought like 10 kits and then built them and sprayed them and said, yeah, I'm bored of that now. Standard me, standard me. There you go. There you go. However, I will say that all this time, I have been into 40k to a degree. Like, I've always kept an eye out. I've always been watching or reading r/Warhammer, competitive Warhammer, whatever it is. So I've always known what's up to a degree. Age of Sigmar, when 4th edition launched, I played like 3 games of Spearhead, and then I think 1 game of 2k points. I think. Which was fine. Maybe I played 2, but let's say 1. You know, very much still I need to learn the rules kind of thing. But yeah, I really realised that, oh man, there's so much knowledge about Sigmar that I just don't have. That I do have for 40k, even though I don't play 40k. Which is really interesting. Because you might think, oh, 40k Sigmar, they're basically the same game, right? They both work on the terrible system of, you know, phased, full I go, you go stuff. And like, you know, yeah. Very dated, but like, you'd think that if you know one system, you know the other. the more I'm learning about both of them as I'm been watching more and more content that is of a higher skill level than just like Auspex saying, oh, I think the Necron Warrior is quite good, but he has some downsides. But he's quite good if you know how to use him. And that's his response for every single model in the Necron range. Like, man, they are very different if you want to play the systems. Not even, I don't even want to say well, just with any level of competence, which is really interesting. Really interesting. The bases are the right side. It's a tiny bit bulkier, but I'm only playing with... Oh, well, who cares then? Yeah, that's fine. If the base size is right, they're right. My AOS army, I started last year with Daughter's Spearhead. Interesting. So, oh, buddy, we've got Skaven here. Oh, shit. So I sprayed a Skaven earlier today. Oh, God, what happened? And I think I left a model outside. Oh, no, I didn't. He's here. We're good. We're good. I brought him in. I just bought Vizic, sorry. This bad lad right here. You know, the new Giants rat dude. Because he does look awesome. He does look awesome. There you go. He's a Chad, right? Is there a KT version for AOS? Oi, mate. Nice to see you, mate. Nice to see you too, El Pori Pokemon. How's it going? Yes, as Chase says, it's called Warcry. Let me tell you about Warcry. A game that in the past I have perhaps judged too harshly. I think it's a great system, especially, I think. So recently there was a Reddit thread on Kill Team, r/Kill Team, saying, I'm thinking of starting Kill Team. Is this the right place to start for wargaming? I didn't respond because, you know, I don't know, because my answer probably wouldn't be taken particularly well by the Kill Team crowd. But I'm like, nah, this is not the place to start. Warcry is Games Workshop's starter game. And I don't mean that in a negative way at all. There is more depth to it, which comes in the form of list building, as opposed to on-the-board tactics. But there is much more, yeah, it is so much friendlier for beginners, especially people that haven't, that are genuinely new to wargaming, legit. I didn't say that because who cares? But yes, Warcry is the place to actually start wargaming. It's a very simple, very streamlined rule set. It has a few niggles that I don't particularly like, but in general, if somebody said, Andy, I want to play Warcry, I'd say, yeah, sure, let's play a game. Cool. I've got the Teriatric Cohort right here. I've got the Questor Soulsworn here. I've got, what else is in it? I don't know. Oh, I've got my Hunters of Huanchi here. I've got my Urellan River Lumineth here. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Oh, I've got the Wilder Core Hunters here. I have too many. Sorry. When 4th edition Age of Sigmar launched, for all of the factions that I was interested in, I went out and bought their Spearhead and their Warcry Warband. That's why I have that many. Yeah. Awkward. Rats. They are the rats. Have you played 40k? Is it very much different from Kill Team? Oh, it is very different. I don't even know where to begin to tell you how different they are. In fact, I would say that there are no similarities, except that they use D6, but they use D6s in a very different way, to be clear. And that's it. There are no other similarities between the... Oh, they use the same models. Sometimes. Yeah. They are not the same game at all. They are as different as Kill Team is to Warcry, or as Kill Team is to Age of Sigmar. There you go. Sorry, yes, Vizic is a spectacular model. Right, indeed. This is the bad lad right here. Now, obviously, I've just sprayed him blue, but I forgot that I didn't do his base. Because, I know what you're thinking, Andy, why is he blue? Because my My scheme is a weird one for Skaven. So the idea is that it's they're at night, and so all you see, so they're like covered in night, which is blue, obviously, and all you see is the glint of their armor, which is silver. Well, it's metallic. It's metallic. But if I do bronze, then that doesn't look as night-like, and you can see their glow of green, right? There you go. So, there you go. That's the central conceit of my Skaven army. Now, is that lazy? Yes. I think it thematically works, but I do accept it as also lazy. But it will have 3 colours, so screw you. But also, if I didn't do this, then I would never have a painted army at all. So which is better? A very stylized army? Thank you, High Lord of Terror. Cloaked in umbral gloom is exactly what my Skaven are. Although umbral does imply a level of brown, so I might... Yeah. So, you know, do we want a painted army or do we want a not painted army? That's the question you got to ask yourselves. Sorry, I got slowed down. Have you played 40k? Is it very... I don't even know where to begin. You would have to ask specific questions for me to be able to answer any more than I just did. I'm looking at moving from just KT to 40k as well. Is Necrons a bad idea? No, Necrons are great. Necrons are currently one of the higher echelon armies in 40k. And they have a lot of skill behind them, a lot of little tricks that you can do. They do play in quite a unique way because they are one of the few properly recursion-based factions. But yeah, they got some cool models because last edition they were the Nemesis faction, so they got a big refresh. So yeah, pretty good. Vizek is a spectacular model. I'm planning to pick him up for my Skaven army at some point. I still have to build and paint Thankwall and Bone Ripper, which is actually a much better piece in game. Yes, I have unfortunately heard that Vizek is not a great model, like rules-wise, which is a bit of a shame. It's interesting, I've also heard, like on the Stormcast side, like none of the new models are good, which is crazy. Like Taunus the Redeemed, Iridan the Watcher? Apparently they all suck, which is so strange, right? Oh well, what you gonna do? So yeah, sorry, I was answering a question. Let me quickly go over Skaven. I got Skaven because I like that they have tricks, like their skitter, 3 skitter leaps ahead, and the gnaw holes are really interesting to me. I want to move away from factions that are just stand still and move, right? Like, ultimately it's a bit boring. I've got Stormcast because they're Stormcast. There you go. And have you seen my paint scheme for Stormcast? I think I've done a banger. Very simple. Very simple. Is it gonna, this is the classic, it's not going to, no. There you go. So a standard white armor, blue robe, done. Oh, and then splatter them in blood, obviously, right? You know? That's it. Relatively quick. Can't really go too far wrong. Oh, and then silver, obviously. And there. Relatively quick. That's all I focus on for painting. Quick. I don't care about anything else. Because if it's not quick, I won't paint the army. Straight up. It will never happen. Even these quick schemes, I only hold my resolve to actually do those for the barest fraction of a moment, sir. The blink of a gnat's eye, you know? Hit rolls, yeah, so I was thinking about hit rolls, but I think that once you accept that dice pools exist in Kill Team, I think that even the basics of rolling aren't really the same, you know? Super short abstract of how to play 40k, how I kind of want to start to collect more stuff. How to play 40k. Okay. 40k is all about I would consider it the standard tabletop tropes. You have hammers, you have anvils, you need to set up screens to protect your pieces. You move across, 40k at 2k points, it's all about trading pieces. It's about avoiding line of sight. It is ultimately a game of shooting. And you expect your models to die and you have to spend them like resource points. You need to move them up, have them do the thing that they are supposed to do, and accept that they will then die because they are being shot by the enemy. Once you understand that, and the fact that you cannot just have your army in the open because then the enemy will table you, you then start to see that, okay, once a unit is in the open, it needs to perform the action that it needs to perform. That is how the game works, and then it will die. So as long as it does the thing that I want it to do, and therefore my strategy is correct, it has done its job, and I will win. There you go. The whole hammers and anvils is how you define a unit and what its role should be. You obviously also have objective monkeys. And then you have screens. Screening is all about protecting your models. Done. That's 40k. Kill Team has none of that. Cool. I would consider those like the basic tent pegs of 40k, Sigmar, larger scale war games. Yeah, like those are very common basic concepts that all large war games share. Are people still playing Kill Team on TTS? Yes, yes, I believe they are, Zachary, my good sir, Zachary Tipton. Yeah, over on the Command Point Discord, there's still people playing there, yes. It is clunky, but honestly, it's improved so much from where it was at the end of 2018 edition. Like, I think they've made a really good go of it with TTS. Yeah, I would happily play on. Sorry, that's a lie. I won't say that. But I would play on it if I had to, and that's saying a lot. Ninjon is painting Vizic for Golden Demon. He's got multiple videos on his progress. I actually did see Ninjon's face with Vizic next to it just the other day as I was making Vizic, which is great. I don't care. I'm not a hobby guy. I don't want to improve my painting skill. I don't care how other people paint well. It's not me. It's not me at all. But it's cool. It's cool that he's doing that. Like, I'm going to be happy with my Vizic cloaked in umbral gloom. That's my vibe. That's my vibe. Did you ever follow up Warcrow game? No, unfortunately not, Adolfo. And I can tell you exactly why. It's the same reason that I haven't followed up on Infinity and I haven't followed up on War Machine. It's because ultimately I decided that I don't actually have enough time in my life, in general, to play more. There you go. Yeah. I've always loved different systems and mechanics and different games and seeing how they work and learning those and turning them into content and like how to play. I quite enjoy that. But it actually takes up so much time, and it's time that I don't really get rewarded for externally when I could. And so then you have to take into account opportunity cost. Why am I spending time putting effort into this very niche system that on my channel, which is a Kill Team channel, is going to be 1, maybe 2 videos, which nobody will view because my viewers are Kill Teamers. And then the people that do want that content, well, they might look at that one video, but then never again, and that actually hurts the algorithm, blah, blah, blah. So I made a conscious decision to actually step back from other systems. And it sucks. It does suck to a degree. I am making a deliberate decision to narrow my knowledge, my field of knowledge, if you will. But ultimately, I think that's the way it has to be for me in my current circumstance. So yeah. So yeah, I never actually played Warcrow again. Haven't painted the models after assembling them and spraying them. God, you're painting so much more creative than my box art. Looks good, but horses need to be red-brown like the ones we had when I was a kid. That sounds... I feel like if you're painting box art, you're smashing it, right? Like, all of my funky, impressionistic painting is partly because if I paint it box art, I will never get it painted, you know? Yeah. Heresy World Eater scheme. If you say so, I don't really know the Horus Heresy particularly well. I don't like the Horus Heresy. Marines versus Marines is boring to me. But yes, they are white, aren't they? White power armor, blue shoulders, I think. Gold trim. Yeah, I think. Skaven is a fun army right now. Several lost choices. Lots of tricks and shenanigans, great shooting, variety of pieces to choose. You're about to say it in the Stormies, most of the new stuff isn't great. Yeah. So the good thing about Skaven is that actually I think some of our new stuff is good. Not all of it, but like Jezzails, Rat Ogres. Again, so I'm watching mainly, if you check out Age of Sigmar Warp Fire Minis, the guy there just does Skaven battle reports and like Skaven tier lists. He seems to be a pretty good player, and he does battle reports and tier lists, and awesome. And he seems to rate quite highly some things. We definitely have a few models that are good, and because they're so good, you wouldn't take the next thing down in the list until that thing at the top gets nerfed. But for example, the general feeling is that Jezzails are good and strong, but the Rattling Gun is just better. So you would never take the Jezzails because the Rattling Gun is just better. But we obviously know that that means that in, whatever, 6 months, the Rattling Gun will get nerfed hard, and then the Jezzails are there ready to go. And luckily, Jezzails, Rat Ogres, Clan Rats, dirt cheap from all the starter boxes. I just picked 20 Clan Rats, £12. Bargain. I picked up more Rat Ogres in case I want to reinforce my Rat Ogre squad. Again, like £14. And I picked up 3 more Jezzails in case I wanted to reinforce my Jezzail squad. List choices, yes. I was clutching with, yeah, it was a bit of a stretch, but it's fine. We all have to get stretched sometimes. Thanks, mate. Really the best channel for KT. Yes. I like that after I explain how 40k works, you're like, yeah, you're the best channel for Kill Team, mate. Sure. Stop this Age of Sigmar crap. Yeah, anyway. Cities of Sigmar, which is a full army. This is a weird one. I have lots of models here, but it only just hits 2k. It's mad. I got one of everything that's new. There you go. Oh, apart from the priest, I didn't like the priest of the wheel thing. Seraphon, dinosaurs, obviously. Does it even need to be explained? Lumineth, because I love elves. I'm an elvish lover. Sylvaneth, not here. Did just buy an army off Facebook. The reason for that, let me justify myself, is because, as mentioned, I want to play around with shenanigan armies more so than brute armies, I suppose. And I really like the concept of Sylvaneth, which is like jumping around all different places. There you go. Box art is the goal for Horizon 4. Sorry, I've jumped somewhere. Try to play big 40k, and it's definitely whoever builds the better list is going to have a huge advantage over the other. World of, yeah, so that is something that, in fairness, I often slag off Kill Team for its lack of list building. But I totally accept that in 40k and in Sigmar, genuinely, because it's happened to me before, if you build an army that you think looks good, and you don't accidentally luck into a strong meta build, you can just lose. At every skill level. Yeah. If your opponent just says, oh, I happen to like this thing, oops, it's meta. Yeah, well, you're going to stomp everybody that's running something that is off meta. It just kind of works that way, doesn't it? It's actually why, for Age of Sigmar, I have been checking out the latest like lists and stuff before I've bought models. Wait, is that true? It is for Skaven, and it is for Sylvaneth. Because I don't want to just buy bad models and then I never win. Because if I go to my first 10 games, whatever, and I just get smashed every single time, and I'm just going to suck, and I'll stop playing. I got to have at least a chance, even if I'm not winning, right? Because I'm a beginner, fair enough. But you've got to have a level of success before, yeah, to really get a buy-in, I reckon. So. And at least in Kill Team, it's kind of like we're all playing the top meta build, because that's how it's designed. Want to make an upgraded how to play KT? In what sense do you mean? Because I have made genuinely the best how to play Kill Team on the internet, on YouTube. It's got on the least number of views compared to the other people that did it, but mine is the best. So yeah, you should go check it out. Box art is a goal from the horizon. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I've always liked to go with funky colours because I like colours that jump out off the board. I think that grimdark style looks amazing close up Instagram, but on the table it's just black. Yeah. You appear to have the same collector issue that many... Yeah, I have issues. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yes. It might be quicker to... Oh, sorry, you're right. This is my Ossiarch Bone Reaper army, which I just bought on Facebook Marketplace. And this is my Imperial Guard army, which I did not buy off Facebook Marketplace. And that's why it's not painted. Yeah. It would have been, Louis Tob, it would have been, indeed. I know data cards are probably a waste and may quickly become outdated after getting Wrecker and Rat cards and Brutal and Cunning. I really like them while playing, grabbing for the teams I've painted. I'm teaching board game friends how to play KT. The cards are super useful too. I agree. I think that the cards are a very important gaming aid. I have them for the 40k armies that I'm into, and I know that they've been changed. I'm just going to write over the cards. I'm just going to correct them, and I'm okay with that. I have the Skaven cards as well. I didn't buy any of the Stormcast Battle Tome or cards yet, but if I do, then I will for sure learn the army using those cards first. With the idea that hopefully I manage to move to app only, but for sure to learn them, that's where you start. That's where you start, mate, innit? Yeah, Gov. Oof, okay, great. Don't forget your hydration break, guys. What is everybody doing? What's the hobby going on? As mentioned, I've hurt my thumb, so I can't hobby at the moment. Favourite regiment? I'm going to be a basic bitch and just say Cadian. Yeah, just Cadian. I've just listened to, I think it's called Death Welder, which is a focus obviously on Catachan. And it's the Catachans, and the Catachan squad picks up, basically they're in the world they're on has been infested and is the path of a giant hive tendril. I won't spoil it, don't worry. And they're kind of fighting to pick up a MacGuffin and then get off the world as they go. But like, it's right from the beginning, it said, this world is gone. We cannot save it. It's impossible. But can we do the thing that will then later, like, save other planets because we got the MacGuffin, basically. And it's a squad of Catachans, and along the way they pick up a Cadian. And there were more Cadians at the beginning, but they say bye-bye. And I listened to the whole thing, and I was like, the Cadians are way cooler than Catachans. So that was awkward. Yeah. And then off the back of that, what did I do? I bought some Kasrkin. So there you go. I have issues. I have issues. There you go. So yeah, Kasrkin. I do like, you know, the masculine desire to be mildly obsessed with World War I and II, you know. That's why I bought a bunch of Krieg. The Krieg field artillery, love it. that's just a piece that I can have in my Kill Team games as scenery. So I've got 3. Because I got issues. But yeah, that looks awesome. Skaven are cool. I always like rodents. I've got 2 minis for Mini of the Month. Lovely. Lovely. Good. Yeah, so I was thinking about moving away from this. This is the scheme, the Umbral Gloom scheme is what I painted for Mordheim miniatures a few years ago when I went to play Mordheim, and I just bought the Underworlds models of the time. And I wanted to get them done nice and quick, so I did this. And then when Skaventide released, I thought, oh, I'll just copy that again because that worked. And now that I've got this bad boy up here, I'm kind of thinking, oh, I could paint them properly. How would I paint up an army where I legit need to have at least 40 clan rats? And that's like only 300 points. 320, I think. And like, what do I do, you know? How can I paint that many models and actually paint them? That's why I decided to stick with the darkness scheme. To clarify, I am sticking with that. But the only way I'd be able to do it is by copying my my classic boner armor, my boner scheme, which is what I do with my Marines, which is just, yeah, spray them, wash them, dry brush, done. But I would still have to fill in the details, which is frustrating. On this, I kind of don't have to. I mean, I have to pick out the metallics, but that's it. And the eyes, but whatever. That doesn't matter. Angels of Death. Okay, nice. You know, Command Point just put Angels of Death up in S tier. Which I like, because that means all the time I've been fighting Angels of Death with my Blades of Cain, and my friend has been saying, oh, they're not even that strong, actually. They're actually the weaker elite team. Now I can turn and say, actually, mate, actually, second Legionary model on the paint table right now. Agree on Grimdark being pretty bland for gaming. Going bright on these Legionary purples. But yes, totally. Don't get me wrong. I've seen some beautiful models that are like super grim, but can't see them. Old School RuneScape and setting up TTRPG notes for the weekend. Lovely. Why don't we have a Gaunt's Ghost kill? Oh, who knows? Is Grey Knights versus Khorne really coming next? Don't know. I assume so. At this point, Valrak is almost always correct. I would be very surprised if he's wrong at this point. The only way he would be wrong is if he's deliberately being fed false information and they finally got his contact. But no, I suspect he's correct. Which is cool. I really want Grey Knights and Power Armor Khorne. That sounds like an awesome box set. I'll be super excited for it. But I'm not paying attention to that because I like to just get things when GW wants us to know them. There you go. I can't buy it before then, so, you know, who cares, really? Why no Gaunt's Ghost Kill Team? Yeah, who knows? There are so many good things that they could have done. Gaunt's Ghost is definitely one of them. The Black Templar Squad. The Exalted 8-bound. There's so many. Like, there's so many good ones. The new Minka-lesque stuff, that could have been one. Why isn't it? I don't know. I will be picking up those new Minka-lesque miniatures just because they look cool for my Imperial Guard army. But why? I don't like how that type of army plays. What am I doing? Anyway. Does the dust not bug you having all your minis in the open back there? No, don't care. It's not that dusty. I mean, I guess they haven't been here that long, to be fair. But, nah. This is a dust-free zone, buddy. My skin don't flake. There's another way I could have said that, but it would have been considered a touch racy. Didn't Gaunt's Ghost get the models as proper? Yes, Miko, they are 40k models. That's why we don't have them as Kill Team models. Played a cool narrative game yesterday with a big tower force with homebrew MPO battle suits. Oh, nice. How did you play the battle suits? Were they just like Marines? Clan Rats take speed paint really, really well. They seem designed for it. Little zones on those models. They're perfect for slap drop. So I accept that, Jim, but I think that you overestimate my will to paint. I don't even want to do that because it's 40 models of Clan Rats, you know? Yeah, it's just not my vibe. It just wouldn't happen. Simply put, that's the truth. Today's a national US holiday, so I'm chilling at the house, building together all the terrain I printed into 1 foot by 2 foot tiles so I could be modular Necromunda. Oh, lovely. Necromunda, not kill theme. Hot take, sir. Yes, there is a gaunt kit. Have you played the White Dwarf solo missions? I found them surprisingly hard, having annihilated the regular solo missions, but granted I was playing Pathfinders, they suck. Pathfinders do apparently suck. I have not. No, I didn't pick up that, that White Dwarf. I played the Sniper's Alley, and that's it. I didn't play another one they've given us yet. I should go and buy that White Dwarf, but I haven't, so there you go. Haven't tried the White Dwarf solo yet, actually glad they're hard. Yeah, that is good that they're hard. Why are they hard? Island ear painting skill and techniques the same way I look at the fat old guy in the machine shop, find an efficient way to do it sitting down. Well, yes. Yeah, I actually failed the second one. Enemies keep on spawning where you're trying to go. I like your painting skill and techniques. Ah, yes, indeed. Efficiency is key. I accept that. My first 20 Clan Rats took about 2 weeks. So you see, I just wouldn't do it. And then, if I didn't do it, I wouldn't have an army to play. So the question is, do you want Umbral Gloom, Skaven, or do you want nothing? These are the options we have. We don't have, there is no middle ground. There is no paint it well. That's not going to happen. I paint it impressionistically and go for vibes. Thank you. Nice. Solid rule set. I approve. I've just, I haven't recorded it yet, but I've just done the, not script, I've done the bullet points, the slides, for the, for the boss battles. So that will come out at some point, soon-ish, where I've come up with, like, things. Have I not recorded that? Oh, I feel like I have. I've done the slides, I'll have to go back and check. Always get lost in the details when painting. I need to get fast and care less. Now you're thinking like me. Yes, that is exactly what you should do. But there are a lot of people, I mean, more people just paint the models than play the game. So, you do what works for you, man. You would do what works for you. Oh. My Seraphon are going to be yellow. There you go. Because their sub-faction is called the Sunclaw Star Host. Is that it? Sunclaw? Claw Sun? Sun Host? The word sun is in there, so they're going to be yellow. There you go. Nice. Okay, let's have a look at narrative kill theme box like Ash of Faith. I thought that box was super cool. Yes, I would also like. I would like to see them do more narrative stuff under the new system they have, for sure. MR, yes, I have a profile for using a tank. Because part of the reason why I was doing it is because I got the Rogel Dawn and I wanted to just use it in a game. I've got 3 profiles, one for a tank, one for, I've put hero. So it could be Farsight, it could be a chapter master. I think I've specifically made it for Azrael, the chapter master, but you know. And then one for, I think I turned it ninja. So we're thinking something lighter, like a an assassin model, or a oh, what's it called? A solitaire, something like that. Yeah. So yeah. Black with orange highlights. Yes. I suppose. It's an interesting one. I've definitely seen a lot of different night schemes, for sure. I don't think I've seen orange highlights. Obviously, I did my own red flare lighting, which I thought worked really well. But yeah. A tank would need a bigger board, no. Ideally, yes, but probably not. AOF was neato. AOF, of course, being Ashes of Faith. But both the teams were busted when they came out, and it bothered them. They were both real bad. Right, let's have a quick look at some stats, guys. So, basically, there's a new stats guy. He's doing some very nice, informative stats that I think are very easy to read, easier to read than the current stats chap. This will at some point become a video, presumably later this week. And I quite like to look at stats, and I don't quite know what the video I end up doing is going to be. What we have here is this is the win rates since only the new balance patch. We can swap to the previous balance patch, which is here. This is actually only since December. It's not everything, but as you see, 107 tournaments, 4,500 games, and then this one is only 46 tournaments, 1,300 games, right? Yeah, so there's not actually much data yet, but I'd like to get this tool in people's hands sooner rather than later, and the guys just launched it like last week, I think. So, you know, it's cool that it exists. And basically it's here, and you can click on things, like we can click on Chaos Cults and it gives us more information about how the matchups are into teams. So if we wanted to look at Angels of Death, for example, or we can also see games played. So this is win rates. Currently, 62.5 Chaos Cult, but ignore that. It was probably one person playing them. Or actually, we can see games played 24. So 6 people played them, right? We can also see games played. So this is popularity. We see Angels of Death at the top with 223 games. Then Nemesis Claw with 183. Then Wrecker Crew with 166, etc., etc. Great stuff. So we can look at Angels of Death and say, what are they playing most into? Shockingly, it's other Angels of Death, which makes total sense. If you look at the win rates at 45%, that means Angels of Death are probably playing a lot of Angels of Death, let's be honest. So yeah. They're having a particularly bad matchup into Nemesis Claw, Wrecker Crew, Felgor Ravagers, I feel. Yeah, well, it's about 50-50 into Felgor. I quite like that it has the different colours, so I don't have to look at the numbers on here to know what's happening. I can just see, yes, there is more darker colour than lighter colour. They are having a bad time into this matchup, whereas they're having a good time into, you know, this matchup. That's quite fun. I like it. I like it. So let's say I want to play Phobos next. I can look at Phobos. There are 134 games. I can say, okay, based on this, I can probably find out good matchups for me. Seems like I'm winning against Angels of Death. Blades of Cain are going to wreck me. Corsairs are going to wreck me. Exaction are going to wreck me. Hand of the Archon, Hearthkin Salvagers, Mandrakes, all going to wreck me. Nemesis Claw, about 50-50. And so there you go. That's quite fun, right? I can just scroll down and say, oh, this team, pretty good. Pretty good. Let's see about Felgor. They're the new boogeyman, it feels, until they catch a nerf. 50% win rate, though. Interesting. And sure enough, exactly 50-50 into Angels of Death, which is really interesting. Because of course, a lot of people think that this is the next kind of big, scary boogeyman team, or the Eldar meta. Looks like we have a great matchup into Nemesis Claw and Void Dancer Troop though, but we get smashed by Wormblade. Interesting. Haven't won a single game into Legionary, so that's a concern. Exaction is destroying us. Interesting. Have an okay match into Corsairs. Angels of Death 50-50. What are Legionary suffering into now? Taking a lot of losses to Angels of Death. Commandos are wrecking them. That's interesting. Which is could have been a pun if I had said, you know, Commandos are wrecker crewing them, but there we go. You win some, you lose some. Mandrakes smashing them. Commandos, yeah. Phobos, Plague Marines. About 50-50 into wrecker. So there you go. There you go. You see this here, this clear loss at 4. That means Angels of Death is a very good matchup into Legionary, if you're playing Angels of Death. Likewise, Hand of the Archon. Well, Commandos, I don't know what's going on with that. That's just mad. But like, yeah. So you can quite easily see what your teams... If you're going to a tournament, perhaps, you can select your team, Plague Marines, and say, okay, what are my weak matchups? Looks like I absolutely wreck Angels of Death. Great. Don't need to play into them. Oh, Nemesis Claw seems to be beating me. Okay, I'm going to go and play into a bunch of Nemesis Claw. And that's it. We can also see by win rate, of course. What did Chaos Cult beat? 2 Legionary. But then they lost lots. Okay, fine. Whatever. So... yeah, alright. They took a loss to Vespid. Interesting. I feel like Vespid would smash them, to be fair. So, fair enough. But got 2 wins into Legionary. Really interesting, really interesting. So it's great, you know, I love to see just some clear data. There is also this win rate distribution, all factions. So this is just showing you this here, this whatever it seems to be saying, 48 to 55, something like that. This is where the majority of all teams are. And then you have outliers all the way down to under 20% and over 60%. So you can just kind of see stuff, which is really cool. Like Deathcore. This is since the buff. This is since the buff, guys. It's not looking good. Everybody that thinks they got better, they did not. In fact, not many games. 54, that's not bad. Pathfinder's only had 33 games. Oh man, Void Dancer Troop, no wins. Yeah, they would have gotten smashed. Yeah, I agree. How are Kaskin 15? They must have had no games. 20. Okay. That's a lot of red for Kaskin, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Rude Brothers, I played them the other day and did not get on with them. What are Rattlings beating at the moment is my question. Here we are, 50-50. They're not liking Wrecker Crew, which is amusing. The name of the app, so it's a website. What you want to do is type in Kill Team Stats Coffee, code-5, and it should come up with this. That's going to be the best way you can find it. Obviously, when I do the video, I will just link to this. But until then, type in. I'm going to make sure this works, and I'm going to hide what I'm typing just in case it doesn't work. Kill Team Stats Coffee. Right, that didn't work. Okay. That didn't work at all. How can we find this then? How can we find this? Maybe we need to type Chris, Kill Team Stats. That has not worked either. That's a problem. No, Chase, this is not Battle Kit. This is something else. This is by an independent. I'll drop a link in chat. It's not going to let me. Okay, all right. Hold on. I can do this. But keep in mind, at some point, once people are aware of this and it goes up in Google's algorithm, you will be able to type Kill Team Stats Coffee. At the moment, that does not work. So you will have to click on that link and yeah, there you go. But again, I will link to this and go over everything a little bit more fully and a little bit more concisely and draw some actual conclusions. Yes, it's on the coffee page. That's right. So let me shrinkify myself and show you again. So you go to the coffee page. Yep, you'll get to this. You just scroll down. You click on one of these Kill Team Stats. You click Read More. And you just go to, you click on any of these hyperlinks and it takes you to this page. There you go. There you go. Now, I suppose the only thing another thing he's done here a little bit is he's tried to tie in kind of, this hasn't worked, but if you look here, top right, faction categorization, elite, APL 3 or 6 operatives, standard, APL 2 and 7 to 10 operatives, horde, 11 or more operatives. I disagree with these classifications, but it doesn't matter because I think, oh, so here we can do this. We can search by, I want to look at hordes, elites. Let's see this. And there you go. Shows up. Or you say, actually, I want to know what the hordes are like. What's up with them? Apart from Chaos Cult, not looking great, to be honest, compared to elites. It is a nice way to just quickly get some overviews and say, oh, that's weird. There you go. But yeah, elites versus hordes. How do I remove this? There you go. Oh. Still brooding over Brood Brothers? Yes, that's right, Brewster, you got me. I was just lamenting how, of course, I lost to such an OP team like Chaos Cults, who are currently, if you see here, Brewster, anytime you play a team, I know that's because you've just heard someone say they're good. I know it. And here we see Chaos Cult top of the leaderboards. You were playing it so sly, you're like, oh yeah, you know, I think maybe they're okay. I don't know. Yeah, we see. Where even are Brood Brothers, actually? Look at this. Look at this. I'm not even on the first scroll of this page. I didn't stand a chance, Brewster. Didn't stand a chance. There you go. Seems pretty culty. What do you think the 4th Katie box should be this season? The 4th? Hive Storm. Brutal and Cunning. You're saying start set Brutal and Cunning and now the next one. What should it be? Well, it should probably be the Valrak Rumour, which is Grey Knights versus Khorne. That'd be sweet. Yeah, let's do that. Sounds great. I'd love Grey Knights. That'd be awesome. Don't care what they are, whether they're Strike Marines or Terminators, Paladins, whatever. Or something else. That'd be sweet AF. And then Khorne, yeah. Let's do that. We're getting rid of Legionary. Let's bring in a new team, I guess. That sounds great. Sounds great. Yeah. Couldn't ask for anything more, I think. That's it. There you go. That's a bit of fun. Now, we could also look at some hot info I've got, which is, as already discussed, this bad boy right here. So this here is a heat map Basically, it's the number of times that battle kit pages have been... Oh, Star Striders. Mate. A team I don't even look at. Because rocking in at 55... Yeah, so I generally hear that Star Striders are strong. Lots of shenanigans, hit really hard. They've been wrecking it into Wrecker Crew. Say that much. Damn. It seems like they've only played into Wrecker Crew and they've won that matchup. Mainly. Where are Scouts? How are Scouts so low? It's crazy. I got beaten by Scouts the other day. I was playing Angels of Death. In fairness, I wasn't playing like sweaty. I just wanted to run forward, so I didn't really want to play that day. But I was like, fine. But yeah, Command Point were just talking about Scouts and saying that they're pretty good, they reckon. And I totally agree. And somebody pointed out, they were saying that after the scouting step, Scouts don't really have anything special or unique. And I'm like, and they said, and I totally agree, it's like, their faction rules, they have 4 shotguns hitting on 2s. That's their faction rule. You don't need anything else. That is your faction rule. Right? So there you go. So there you go. Cool. Right, let's have a quick look at some other stuff. Oh. Didn't realize that was. But a World Eater kill team has to distinguish itself from Nemesis Claw and be a new kit the WWE needs, not just 6 Astartes, hopefully. No, it doesn't. Why would it have to do any of that? It's just a new kit. It will be completely different to Nemesis Claw, of course. It's not going to be able to poison objectives, and it won't have in Midnight Clad. There you go. It's still going to have a bunch of big hitty dudes. That's all it needs. Yeah. This isn't a huge sample size, and pilot skill will shift it dramatically. John Sarek piloting Death Corps isn't the same result as me. No, of course. So, if we go to, where are we? Scout Squad, right. Obviously, this is a very small sample size. That is well noted, hence why Chaos Cults are at the top with such a solid win rate. They've only been played by 5 people. 6 people, sorry. That's not, like 6 people went to some 4-round tournaments, that's it. That's not statistically significant at all, let's be honest. It's why they're as high as they are with such a round number, let's be honest. So it is what it is. But as I've said, I want to get this tool into people's hands kind of quick as they can, so that we can get the person that's doing these stats a little bit of encouragement from the community, so that, you know, if he gets encouragement, hopefully he will be more likely to continue this project. Because that's all this stuff is, guys. It's projects by individual people who decide at some point, oh, I'm bored of this now, and stop. So I'm hoping that by getting some eyes on it, we can get him some fans, and such. He also does reports. So if we look here, this is an actual report. He goes about here. So you don't have to go through to what I said. You can look at this picture. This picture tells you more than just what was on there. So it gives us like differentials compared to the last time. Yeah. You shared the link. Okay. Sure. Well, you could wait until my video, but that's fair enough. It's fair enough. The link will get out there in good time, indeed. So this here is some battle kit data. This is the number of times that each of their pages have been viewed. And so what we could now do is take a look at this and see how closely it lines up with this. Because this, of course, is how many people have taken the team to a tournament. Whereas, in theory at least, this is, well, you don't have to go to a tournament. Presumably, this is a much more casual, skewed thing. It probably also includes a lot of tournament games, obviously, but there will also just be people trying things out and having a go. So, if we look at operatives, that's obviously where people spend the most of their time. Apart from Felgor Ravages, a slight blip here as people are on the racial, as they are trying to figure out how the hell Frenzy works, obviously. Same for Blades of Cain, which again makes sense because they have so many things, right? Suddenly you're seeing why these little blips come up. And you'll see it in Star Striders, a little blip at the top as well, right? People are confused and they're spending more time. What's this, Vespid? They spend a lot more time in their ploys because they're like, I must have something, right? Nah, but in general, we can just look at operatives and clearly stand out far and away, not even close, double the next person in line, Angels of Death. There you go. That makes sense, doesn't it? Then you've got Plague Marines, Nemesis Claw, Commandos, Death Corps. Isn't that interesting that even now, you know, like, let's go and take a look at this, right? Games played. So the people that play the game compared to the people that go to a tournament with the game, where's Death Corps? Where is Death Corps? Here. So the people that go to tournaments, they are not taking Death Corps. They are under half. But the people that just play the game, Death Corps, almost one of the tops. It's really interesting. Really interesting. Corsairs. Where's Corsairs? That's an amusing note. Again, Command Point just put Corsairs up in like their S tier. I think they think Corsairs are really, really good. Even though they have under 50% here. And it's just always interesting to think about people's perceptions. So when I went to the tournament in January, my first round was into Corsairs by someone that went to Worlds. And I said, oh, Corsairs, they're quite a good team at the moment, right? And he said, nah, not really. And then he won. And I'm just saying, you know, perceptions might differ. Perceptions might differ. I was playing Vespid, he was playing Corsair, and he said that Corsair weren't very good. I'm just saying, you know, maybe. Let's see how people are doing with that matchup. Where are my Vespid? Let's go back to win rate. Vespid must be down at the bottom, right? Vespid, where are they at? Stingwings, not doing too terribly actually, all things considered. Into Corsairs, only 2 losses. Well. How about that? They've managed to do decently into Angels of Death, which makes no sense. What are Angels of Death doing to lose into Vespid? They're not doing well into Wrecker Crew. I guess that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So anyway, I really like this little stats page. I like that I could just click on things and say, oh yeah, that is a tough matchup for me. I can now know that because it shows me here. Hearthkin. Easy wins into Angels of Death. Oh, and Felgor apparently. Oh, and absolutely smashing Phobos. Wrecker Crew seem to be doing really well. But they're only at a 52% win rate, which is really interesting. What are they losing into? Star Striders. Pretty hard. That's about it. Just kind of Star Striders. They're having tough matchups across the board, but nothing that's a total landslide. Which I guess makes sense if they're at 52% win rate, right? Yeah. Elf teams are top of the meta after the day. Yes, 100%. Yeah. I don't know. I pretty much agreed with Command Point's tier list. I thought I do think Angels of Death are really good. Too good. I'm glad that, obviously I always talk about things. Hello Jack, how's it going? Shane, how are you feeling about Spearhead at the moment and Sigmar after our game? I'm hyped on it. I'm really excited. I want to play more. I was about to reach out to you and say, should we play? But then I remembered you're off to France, so lame. Loser. My beloved Farstalkers are doing worse than Vespid, are they? No. That can't be true, Gringo, because Command Point just put Kroot at like top. They're like high A tier. Where's the Farstalker Kimbad? Oh, yeah, okay. Well, the win rate doesn't reflect that tier list, but it's early days. It's not statistically significant yet. But yeah, this is rough. This looks rough for Farstalker Kimbad. Gosh, okay. Yeah, fair. What are they winning into? Not much. Not much. They're taking some hard losses. Gate kept heavily by Nemclaw, Wrecker Crew, Hunterclade, Hyrotech Circle. Yeah. That's where they put them, Gringo. I can't, you know, it's what it is. It's what it is. Yeah, they said that Kroot are secret high tier. Yeah. Wrecker struggle for bodies, otherwise they smash. They do smash. I agree. I can't be seen playing a good team. Well, the win rates aren't reflecting it yet, so you're safe for now. I told them turn 2 was blooded, but it could have easily gone the other way if 1 or 2 rolls would have gone differently. Yeah. Struggle for bodies, otherwise they smash. I don't know. I don't know about Wrecker Crew. The only time I played them since the box release, I played them into at the tournament where I was playing Blades of Cain, and I just made a mistake. It was a very embarrassing mistake because Blades of Cain actually have a really good match into Wrecker Crew, and really, that was me being dumb. It was like genuinely the dumbest move I've made in Kill Team. I was just way too, yeah, wasn't paying attention really, and it was. Yeah, when I realised I pulled Wrecker Crew, I was totally happy with that. That was like a really good matchup for me. But I just, yeah, is what it is. I let him get a blast that killed 3 of my models in 1 shot. So, whoopsie. Akimbo Nob is hilarious and nasty with his crazy pistolier thing, but with rocket pistols. Yes, so the Akimbo rocket pistols guy was the one that I built. And so far, he's the only one I've used. And I've got to say, he's always done some big plays for me. Yeah, so totally big respect for Akimbo Knobs, that's for sure. It's normally something I'd say about your mother, but what can you do? I feel a bit foolish for collecting a full 20 deathcore now. Yeah. I've got to say, we're basically wrapping up, so we can stop looking at this. Only human, or so they say. No, sir, I'm not human. I'm part rat, part Tau, part thunder god, part... You get it. I was going to do it for all the armies behind me, but I'm not going to. Yeah. I feel like... If you go back and look at the buffs and the nerfs that we recently got for this data slate, they it feels like they could have done some buffs and nerfs to more teams than they did. Specifically buffs is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like Pathfinders, you know. And they didn't, and I'm kind of thinking, Oh, well, they did buff Deathcore, actually, didn't they? They gave them Ceaseless instead of Balanced. Yeah. I guess that's okay. I guess. I haven't played Deathcore, so I really can't say. I just played Kassakin. They felt boring, I think. Well, as you can find out when you watch my battle report about what I felt about them, but I felt like playing their clearance sweep never did quite what I wanted, because it just gives you, wait, why didn't? No, it gives you balance. Sorry, I'm not that there. Light them up. You have to be shooting a ready enemy operative. I feel like that can be removed. I think it should be everything. And then if it's everything, I think they'd be really quite solid. Like, they might not be fun, but they'd be solid, you know, like win rate wise, because you'd always have severe on everything, which is pretty good. But yeah, no, they didn't really spark joy. I'm glad I played them, but I probably won't jump back to them, to be honest. Oh yeah, man down. I want to go to bed. I'm tired. I actually can't with Kassakin. Such a snooze that I'm ashamed because the models are brilliant. Great models, yes. They were quite boring. I can't remember how they used to play. Oh, elite points. Yeah. They, yeah, elite points. Say what you will, at least they were interactive. You felt like you were doing things when you played them. But, nah. Nah. Yeah. Is what it is, I guess, you know? I still think that they're like the fundamental team to learn the game with because they just shoot things. But, yeah, I don't know. They weren't particularly fun. They were just basic. But you have to have a basic team, I guess. Rule number one, they do look cool. They do look cool. That's very true, very true. Very true. Really enjoyed Spearhead on Friday. Well up for another game. Awesome, Jack. Yes, we'll play more. Yes. Could also go up to 2K. Right? That's all I'm saying. I need to learn the game though. I've been asking around to see if anyone's willing to teach me. No one is willing to teach me. Nobody has responded to any of my messages asking if they'll teach me Sigma. So I'm just going to have to learn it myself. Which is great. Great fun. They were boring before. Yeah, just choose crit instead of missile. Oh, I hated that. That was so annoying as the other player. So I'm glad they don't. But now, I don't think they've made them more fun, you know. In the long run, you're up for larger games, yeah. For sure, for sure. Should probably learn how to play the game at any level first. Yeah. Yeah. I believe, Jack, I was right. We had this question of how does the fight first thing work? Basically, the way it works is there are steps, right? There are tiers. Charging doesn't give you fight first. It just lets the person who is has the initiative gets to choose who gets the first fight, but it's tiered. So you start with fights first step, normal, fights last step. So you play fights first, and then everybody that has fights first gets to fight, starting with the person that has initiative. Then you go to the normal step. Everybody in the normal step fights, starting with the person that has initiative, and then you go to the fights last step. Everybody that can fight last starting with the person with initiative. So we actually played that correctly. There you go. But there's a big thing that we're missing out on in Spearhead, which is like, what's it called? Oh, I can't even remember. There are command abilities, and they seem absolutely fundamental to the game, but I don't think they're in Spearhead. It's things like you can do the rally command. You bought the book. You should probably read the core book. It's a good book. It's a good book. So yeah, I also need to read a book. There you go. Old World? Not really. No, purely because I don't have... Sorry, I don't want to play the Old World. I wouldn't mind playing the Old World. In another life, I would be a big Old World guy, that's for sure. Obviously a lot of nostalgia for it as I grew up with it. Old World was always my default fantasy setting. For a lot of other people, it was more like D&D or Lord of the Rings. For me, it was Old World. It was Warhammer Fantasy. In my mind, I grew up and all normal basic fantasy had inquisitors with pistols. Straight, there you go. Always. And I maintain that. So anytime I'm like dreaming up a fantasy world, it always has guns. Just always, yeah. I assume nothing. I've seen you read Kill Team rules. I know you can't read. However, do I want to actually play the game? As I said earlier in the stream regarding things like why don't I look at other game systems? It's because I don't have time to add another game system to my roster that will get me no views. Because I'm going to talk about it one time and then it goes, right? Yeah, don't have the time to do that. However, I wouldn't mind it, you know, like I wouldn't mind to add to one of my shelves back here, probably wood elves. I was always a big wood elf lover, specifically. I don't like what happened. I don't like that they've gone from Sigmar. I hope that they come back. But there you go. But yeah, having a little rank and flank wood elf army behind me would be really cool. I can't lie. But I don't like the old models. I don't think they're good. You know, like some of them hold up, but then like the big models do not hold up. Why would you have like this, whatever, old world dragon or old world griffin rider or whatever, when you have like everything here, the new dragons, the new Seraphon, like they're all so good, you know? And it's just crazy to take a step back. Even for nostalgia, something that I'm really cognizant of is I don't want to be someone that lives off nostalgia, you know? Guys, we're older. We can never go back to that time in our lives. Those systems weren't good. You just had less worries in your life. You know, move on. It's fine. The models weren't good either. Move on. Update. We can't have stagnation, you know? That's not the way it is. That's all I'm saying. But yes, so there you go. There you go. Old World is cool. It is still my default fantasy in truth, but no, I won't be playing the game. I might buy stuff like the Arcane Tomes look really cool, just to have, but it's not a system for me. I just push the microphone button and yell at my phone. Reading is for nerds, lol. Very true, I also don't read. What kind of loser would read a book? Not me, sir, that's for sure. Anyway, everybody, coming towards the end of it now, so I'm gonna log off. Thank you for dropping in and saying hi. I hope that I've helped you push towards your hobby goals. If you've made it to the end of the video, the stream, I guess, I'd like to give you a big triple hello. And again, if you like what I'm doing here, best thing you can do is just watch the videos all the way through, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. But of course, if you do really like it, do check me out on Patreon, where all of that sweet, sweet support goes straight towards my hydration funds. And genuinely, if it wasn't for my Patreons, I would no longer be doing this channel. And yes, a hi to Alexander Jewel there. I'm just leaving. But thank you for watching. It's been 2 hours, so I'm going to call it a day. And I'm going to go see if I can do a bit more hobby. But I'm not sure if my plaster will allow me on that cut. Have a good one, everybody. Bye.